Okay, today is October 12, 2015. Let's take a look at the market. The market is kind of in a semi-holiday today. So the activity was kind of light. And so there's not much to really to kind of review. Other than, still kind of holding up here at this 618, kind of flagging here, maybe a set up a little consolidation. But I'm still looking for this S&P 500 to eventually get it back up to this 2040 and then, essentially test this level for potential resistance. And then maybe we see a little bit more of a dramatic pullback. But in the meantime, there's a possibility that it could come back down and retest this 1993 before it makes another push. So, or it might even come down and spook the participant a little bit more and get down and retest this 1948, essentially fill this gap here. Then they come up and tag this 2040 and then make another push down. Okay, and essentially what I'm looking at in a bigger picture sense, let me go and do this here. And let me scroll this out so we can kind of see that. Also, the other thing is, let me change this to a line chart. So essentially, we're just looking at the close, right? So you can see on the close, you can see some defined pivot point, right? So this level here, the October 15 close on 2014. And you also got this August pivot here. So essentially, if I connect these lines, I could set up this as my neckline for a massive head and shoulder pattern. And here's what I'm looking at. Okay, all right, so let me scroll this out and shrink that. Let me get these. Okay, so what we're basically looking at is for this thing to come up and tag this 2040, right? Then it come down and break this 1862, essentially this low here. All right, these pivot. Okay, so now we got this left shoulder, head, and right shoulder. So now we got this massive, head and shoulder pattern breakdown. Okay, and what I'm going to do is if I do a major move, okay, so let's do this. Well, let's use the Fibonacci retracement so you can see more lines on there. Okay, so essentially on a 168, or if I get this thing down to, let me change this to, let me make this 180%. So that will give me a, 80%. Let me do this 80%. Not sure why it didn't change. Okay, so this 80% brings us down to 1641, 1642. All right. So this is about, let's see, what level is that? So it's going to bring us maybe somewhere around these pivot here. Okay. All right. Somewhere near there. And then the 100% retracement, I mean the major move, is essentially this 1587. And that will take us back down to somewhere in that April time frame, what's that, April 2013. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at in terms of the bigger picture for that. That's only a possibility, not saying that's what they're going to do. Okay, so so that's one possible scenario. Okay, so let me get back my candlestick. Okay, and get this thing back up. Okay, so so if we get a pullback, I'm looking at the 1648. The first line of defense is 1993, and if we get pushed higher, then I'll be looking at 2040. But there's also a possibility it could push up to that 2056, which is in confluence with the 78.6 at 2053. Okay, so this is basically the zone of resistance, and these are the level of potential support. Okay. So that's the S&P 500, and we look at the SPY. So on the SPY, I'm essentially looking for a push to get up to 204. Essentially, there's also within this confluence in this trend line, as well as this particular resistance level, the March 2015 close. Okay, And if we pull back, this is the 199.84, essentially the 200, the Fed day pivot. Okay. And then if we pull back, it could come down to maybe slightly below this 195, essentially filling this gap here. Okay, so those are some of the levels that I'm keeping an eye on the SPY. Then if we look at the NASDAQ 100, the NASDAQ 100 is staying above this 3450. Okay, so we're looking for it to push up to this Fed day pivot high, the intraday pivot high, 4450. If it can't do that, if it pull back, then we're probably looking at this. The first line of defense is down here at the 4278, and then possibly getting down to this 4207. Essentially, we're looking for this gap fill. Got a little gap that need to be filled. Okay, not completely filled. All right, so that's some of the possibility. So we also got this trend line, broke this trend line, so we kind of look for this push to the 4450. If it could push about this 4450, then it could come up and try to tag this April high. Okay, and looking at the Russell 2000, Russell 2000 is still hugging this declining trend line here, still trying to make it above. If it does, we're looking at the 1180 as the first level of resistance. If it can't, pull back to 1139 and possibly get down and retest the 1104. If it break that 1104, the chances are we'll see the newer low. Okay, because if you see right here, as I explained on the weekend video, that it broke through here and then come back up, stay above this low here. Okay, and then and it came back with a strong push above this level. So if it can't hold this particular level as a support, then it's basically all these bulls that trying to push this thing up, all the energy that they've been spending on pushing this up essentially went in vain, and it will just come back down. Okay, so let's take a look at the stock. Looking at Apple. We're talking about Apple. We'll have to get up to this 112. It's still trying to get up to this 112, right, and break above this trend line to get up to that 117 and possibly that 119. Okay, be careful when they're earning. Apple is also scheduled earning. What's that? When the 27, couple of weeks from now. So you might want to keep an eye on that. If we get a push, 117, 119 is a level to watch. But if we get it to pull back, this 116 have to hold. If it doesn't hold, then it's going to come back down and look at this 92. Okay. And Facebook, we're talking about Facebook pulling back, got a little flag, and now we're looking for it to push up to this, this upper trend line and possibly in confluence with this level here, somewhere around this 96, 97 area. Okay, 96.50, 97. Okay, so kind of keep an eye on this 97 level. Okay, got a little flag pushing up on that. Little disclosure, I do have a small swing long position on, okay, playing off of this flag position. So we're going to see how this thing work out. If it work out, it work out. If it doesn't, it doesn't, right? That's the game of trading, 50-50. Okay, so it doesn't matter what kind of edge you have. As soon as you put on a trade, you essentially have a 50-50 chance of either it go against you or it go in favor of you. Okay. So we just have to keep an eye on this and see what it get up to. This 97 is my initial target, somewhere in the 97 area. Okay. So, but if it pull back, have to hold this 91. If it dip below this 91, then chances are it could come down and retest this 85.50, and I will be long gone before that. So, and Amazon is also broke out of this trend line, and it got above this 543 we're talking about. Okay, so right now it's trying to make its way up to this to this trend line. So there's a good possibility that it will push up and maybe test the recent high, unless something bad happened on the earning. Okay, so maybe it will do a push before the earning come out. Okay, so it's on the 22nd, which is next Thursday. Okay, so pay attention to those earning day. Want to make sure you don't get caught on those surprise. I usually do not like to carry to earning. Now maybe some of you do, but so just make sure that you're trading your plan and be aware of those earning date. Okay, so right now I got a little push, off of this sort of like a flag, right? We're talking about these little flag and a little pullback, okay, right? Well, that's not much of a, okay. So, and then Netflix is consolidating a little bit here. Maybe it's set up a little flag. I'd like to see a little bit more pullback off of this trend line. So, but right now it seems to be bumping against this trend line here. We get a little bit more pullback, maybe come down to somewhere around this 108, on the 618 would be nice. Then they could set up, maybe a setup that what I call a U-turn. Then we basically play off that U-turn type of move and have it to come up, take out 115, 116, and push it back up to this, maybe possibly the 124 and get up to retest the recent high. Again, cannot emphasize this enough. Earning Wednesday, so be careful. And here's Google. Google is also bumping up against this trend line here. So if it could break above this pivot here, which is somewhere around 679, then it could make a run at this 695 to 704, essentially coming back up to this 700 level. Okay, so just kind of watch this. Maybe might take a look at this 679 level as it break through. Okay, it did pull back to 618, consolidate a little bit, and then got a little push today. So again, earning on the 22nd, next Thursday, same day as what's that? Amazon, and was it Apple? Was also on the same day. Let's go back. No, Apple was on the 27th. So what is the 27th? Oh, it's on a Tuesday. Okay, couple more weeks. Right. So, and then on Twitter, we're talking about Twitter pulling back, which it did, and I'd like to see it consolidate a little bit down here and maybe set up for a little bit of a a U-turn type of play, and push it back up above the 2950 and take out the 3150 and work itself up to fill this gap at 34. So, but if it give up, this support level here and come down to this 27. Then be cautious about this thing. Don't try to do bottom fishing here. It might come back and retest this low or even possibly this low here. Okay, so anywhere above this 28, somewhere around 28. If we could find a setup between 28 and and somewhere around this 2951, that would be good. Then maybe that would be a good possibility of a little bit of a swing long to swing up to this 34, 36 area. Okay, and Tesla is still coming down. We're looking at this level here, somewhere around this 213. Okay, and if you can't hold that 213, we're also looking at maybe somewhere around this 203, 204 area. Okay. And then the IBB is still kind of chopping around here. All right, so if you want to play this, you might want to wait for this chopping to kind of die down a little bit, maybe kind of get a little flattened, consolidation area before look for some kind of pivot up to, play up to, maybe get it back up to this 50% level here. Okay, so that's basically it. Oh, okay, let's take a look at JP Morgan. Right, we'll talk about the bank also. JP Morgan is scheduled to release earnings tomorrow morning before the open. Okay, so look for that possible move. We're basically looking at this flag here, right? Or if you want to do this, okay. So we're basically looking at this thing, right? Maybe get it up to this 65 area. Okay, if there's a positive response to the earning, if it's negative, then look for this key support here, 60.74. If it break that, then chances are we're going to come back down here, right? And what is this level? That is somewhere around 60, 58, 60. Okay, so that's it for now. Maybe tomorrow we get a little bit more price action when everybody's back from this little semi-holiday. Then we got a little bit more to talk about. But for now, that's it. Good luck.